Here are some bonus tips for things to do during the interview. First of all, make sure you take your resume with you. Also, make sure your resume has specific dates for each job. Sometimes the employer will ask you to complete an application on site. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I just cannot remember the dates for specific jobs. So having your resume there, or even a sample application. I have even printed out a blank application, filled it out with all of my previous work history and dates, and taken it to job interviews with me. That was so helpful when completing an application on site. I would recommend you do the same. But if you don't want to do the application, at least take your resume with you because you want to be prepared to complete an application on site. It will happen. Take a pen and notepad with you to every interview. And the things you want to write on that notepad are names and titles of the people you interviewed with. The reason you want to write down names and titles is so that you can send thank you letters later. Other notes that you want to keep in the interview is any questions that came up that you could tell the interviewer had a concern with. Because those things, those questions that they were concerned about, you can answer those in your thank you letter. You want to take notes on anything that went good in the interview so that you can continue to do those in future interviews. The good thing about job interviews is that it does give you practice. If you have interviews where you don't receive a job offer, that's okay. Don't sweat it. At least you were able to practice for future job interviews. Another thing to take a note on is what to improve. Were there any questions that you weren't prepared for? Were there any concerns that the interviewer had, maybe some skills that you didn't have that you know that you'll probably need for that role? These are things that you need to take notes on so that you can improve, learn some new skills, or maybe practice your answers for those particular questions. Another bonus tip is to take a list of questions that you want to ask. Sometimes when you're in an interview, you get nervous and you forget what you wanted to say or what you wanted to ask. By taking a list of questions with you, you'll have your list right there. Always ask the interviewer for permission, though. Just say, hey, is it okay if I take notes? Is it okay if I pull out my list of questions here to make sure I don't miss anything? They're perfectly fine with you taking notes. In fact, it will make a good impression if you take notes during the interview.